You're a scrumptious cookie. We're going to be doom scrolling Twitter Roonies. What's happening? The latest news. First up, we have Joshy Boo. I dive, duck, dip, dive, dodge every single day of my life. This is Joshy Boo with some cracker video. Joshy Boo is part of the PulseChain community, one of the 170 content creators. There are 170. I think it's also relevant now is just talk about the prices. So we saw a bit of a price. I don't want to use the P word, pump. We had a nudge. Let's use the N word, the real N word. We've nudged up, nudged 10%, 18%, 10%. Everything liquidity bonded. PDI went down, maybe some rotation, but PDI went up first, kind of spearing the move, if you will. We've got a long way to go. Hex combined, not even 1 cent, so everything's down. The big, mysterious, suspicious whale has stopped moving. Could be Richard moving it. Could be something else. I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be a while, friends. Remember, the real fun doesn't start until Ethereum breaks 3,800. I am back online after a 3-day weekend. So he's obviously joking that he's just basically cementified here his whole laptop. 3 days, because in crypto, man, we're here like it's 18 hours a day. You can walk away, which is fine. Just if there's a home run, you got no idea what's going on. That's why the dopamine hit. Oh, gosh. You know, friends, if PulseChain really does do the 100x run, if PDI really does get to $1, when they tell stories of this in the future, we'll basically inspire a whole new generation of bag holders in crypto. Because in other coins, because they'll watch the videos and reviews and they're like, oh, wow. They were only able to get rewarded with a win because they stayed here every day, not because they walked away. If you walked away, you never would have seen it. You never would be there. But it's tough because you just, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? That's the thing, friends. It's almost like remote viewing. If you try to imagine stuff in your head, the whole thing doesn't work. Yeah, and it's just here. If you keep, I'm looking. If you keep looking, you'll click your way into the wrong link. You'll start leverage trading and get destroyed. You start buying pump fund trash. You're like, oh, I'm looking for opportunity. I'm looking. You don't know what you're looking for. You really got to have like this Zen approach where you just become like a channeled antenna, really. That's why only the believers will make it. Elon Musk, the America Party, is needed to fight the Republican and Democrat uni party. The debt has risen regardless of which party is in power. Friends, Elon Musk is not going to get in. Do you understand, friends? What happened with Doge was he tried to cut a lot. You couldn't cut, bro. Friends, like I said, I've told you, the government doesn't waste as much money as you think. Catherine Fitz literally worked in the White House. $21 trillion is missing. Tornado cash. I've told you since 2022 when I discovered it. And everyone's been talking about it for ages. The Middle East and America's wars are a tornado cash. They start the wars, they push some buttons so they can go and move a lot of money. Why do they go do that? Is it to line up the pockets of politicians? Not really, bro. Who cares if politicians getting 30 grand, 50 grand, even 100 grand? That's not accounting for the billions and billions and billions of dollars missing. Where's all the money going? Advanced UFO tech. They zapped MH370 out of the sky. It's science beyond what we're taught in school. Duh. They have the DUMBs, the deep underground military bases. There's all of this stuff is going on. America's #1 powerhouse. They keep US dollar dominance because they have access to all the power. But also, do we really want infinite energy to just be thrown around out there? Who knows what happens at that point? What if it goes into the wrong hands? So you're not going to be able to cut this, bro. You'll never be able to cut this. They'll kill him. Cold. Nobody cares about the debt crisis anymore. Each party will spend us into oblivion until one wins the demographic war. You said it yourself, Elon. Democrats is destiny. Demographics is destiny. We can fix the finances later. Look, man, friends, the future's just going to have economic AI agents anyway. They're going to be having all the money in the currency. So what are you and I going to be doing? That's the, I guess, the end plan for all of these. So we'll see. Red Panda Koala, a non-UFO crackhead space. I believe he's a UFO dude. I love the UFO community. It's very awesome. Those all his characters and people fighting and everything out here. Just shows you, no matter. I love just seeing like, when I see all there's tiffs and tirades and friction in the UFO community, and I'm like, oh wow, it looks like just crypto. It's people. It's literally people. Someone comes out, someone's a maverick, someone says something, other people are sheep, there's twists and there's turns, someone gets called out. You gotta love it. Good morning. First of all, I want to thank Solarium Chain community and co-founders for supporting me with this decision. It's the next big chapter. Woo! I don't know what Solarium is. Is that Solana's another layer 2 thing for Solana? Yeah. Solana's got pump fun. This is a JPEG casino. We're looking for the next thing, man. People just want to make money. We need a way to make money, but the only way to make money is we need a bid from the rest of the market. But the only way people put a bid for the rest of the market is when they feel confident about the future, and that'll be reflected in PMI going up. So they're not confident about the future unless the cycle keeps continuing. So we're just waiting for those dominoes to fall. Speaking of dominoes, here's Domino. Trump trying to gaslight the public into thinking Elon is mad about the electric vehicles mandate is liberal insanity. Elon was brought on to run Doge at cost. All of his work and long hours were thrown out the window. Yeah, he was read into the UFOs, but apparently what they told him was, remember Matthew Brown, who worked for the Pentagon? He literally said, hey, Elon, I know you got read in. He's called the marsupial program because I know they told you about the UFO stuff, but they just told you it was unexplained. And they said, that's a load of shit. They know exactly how they work. It could be the government's ones themselves, right? Also, so, friends, I saw Ashton Forbes, shout out to Ashton. I was watching, did his interview with Mr. Polarity, Josh. It was this one right here. He is Josh on the left and Ashton on the right. So Ashton actually goes through the exact physics because he's learned all of it, putting all the patents and stuff together of how you actually get the plasma orbs, how humans, we can actually make them. So sometimes when we see these orbs, we don't know which ones are the other entity or us. Yeah, it could be us, could be government psyopsing. That's why a lot of this stuff, man, there's been some weird stuff, like certain cities of America, seeing some of this stuff in the sky. Man, it literally could be not just Mr. Alien dude. It could be government, like, hey, how much can we trick the population? You know, can we put the lights? They think it's really us. They think it's them. Interesting. Smolting put this chart. What's happening to creators' markets? I don't know what these charts. This looks like everything in crypto. You know, everything in crypto just looks like this, man. Everything. What do you do, friends? Like, it's a believer cycle. Look at this. Price discovery to the downside. Friends, that's what pretty much. Yeah, what are we doing here? We're just waiting and waiting and waiting. Got a juicy episode update here from me. Actually, I've appeared on the timeline. I'll show you this, friends. So, MicroStrategy. So, I've shown this picture. Look how cute this is. I made this for you. Look how cute this is. So MicroStrategy is trading at 1.73 NAV multiple. So net asset value. So pretty much the Bitcoin on the balance sheet of MicroStrategy is 73% more expensive than real Bitcoin. So pretty much if Bitcoin is 109, if you buy it if you buy MicroStrategy, you are buying Bitcoin for $189,000. You might say, why do people do that? Because they're silly willies. That's it. Because they're buying high to dump on someone higher. Greater fool theory, right? So what I've mentioned to you is when this hits 1.0, so when it goes down to only hit 1, it might be the beginning of the end of the crypto market. Remember I showed you the grayscale Bitcoin. It had a premium of like plus 25%. It went to 0 in like January of 2021. And that was like 4 or 5 months before the bull market. So it was basically the beginning, the bull market was just starting, and then that was pretty much the beginning of the end. Okay, so, and then that started going into discount. It was pretty much game over from that point. So we might see MicroStrategy, you never know. That thing might hit NAV, we might see it tick down to 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2, and then eventually hits parity, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the cycle's gonna be like over soon. What soon mean? Another 3, 4, 5 months? Because basically nothing was happening in altcoins in January 2021, but then 4 or 5 months later, Richard Hart's calling the top, SHIB did the million X, Doge goes and explodes even higher. Okay, so you know that NAV traded as high as 3. So people were buying a $300,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. That's because that's it, friends. Because why do they do that? This dude's telling him it's going to 13 million. And he's like, this is a rocket launcher and you're using a bow and arrow. So that's why people buy it, because it's greed, bro. It's greed. Also, friends, I got another video of post of mine has appeared on the timeline, Twitter news. This is cracker. Look at this. So shout out to Mr. JJ and Mr. Circumciser for this, Mr. Kyle the Circumciser. There is, friends, see this cycle part. It's a guy named Samuel Benner. He did like this 100 years of cycles of times when they're good and they're bad. I don't even know how the thing works, but if you zoom in to where our period is, this is 2023 to 2032. Look at this, 369. Can you believe it? It's got a 369 in our era. Now, 369, by the way, enjoy all these cute emojis out here. Here's me and Richard Hart. How cute are they? And there's a big, giant, big peg. Kyle the Circumciser. The code is in the peg. We are the peg. So 369, Richard Hart has infused the spirit of that number into PulseChain community. So, for example, Hex, the first started with Hex, right? Hex's inflation is 3.69%. 369, friends, is a magical Nikola Tesla number. So Nikola Tesla, I'll show you, Nikola Tesla 369. I did not know that's where it came from. I just thought, he likes those numbers. That's what I thought. But yeah, 369, he calls it, if only you knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe. He literally calls them the keys to the universe. Nikola Tesla. He saw 369s everywhere, right? So it is kind of wild. Also, PulseChain, the chain ID that you connect to is 369 as well. So it's a magical universe number highlighted by Tesla. Richard Hart infused the number. He made the inflation, 369, 369. This means we're all going to make it out here. Look at this cute Pikachu out here. Keep in mind, thanks to Uni, keep in mind that the top, according to Benner, for crypto historically is 2027 to 2028. Just check the previous tops. Awesome. I wonder. So you never know. Are we going to run to the end of next year? We'll see. We'll see. A lot of unknowns when it comes to that. We'll see. Got a post here from Renano. What if these GCR accusations are now pushed to make him come out of hiding? Accusations true or not? He's still one of the most sophisticated people I've seen. If they're true, imagine how much effort all went into everything. I might have a full video coming out on this later on. So there's allegations. What happened with GCR, the greatest forecaster trader. Just to give you a snippet. It turns out there's allegations come out. He paid Binance employees to let him basically get access to the secret Binance Amazon server, and he had access to the server, and he could see some random files get uploaded early, which would tell him which coins were going to get listed on Binance back when there was a big season for that in 2021 or 2022, whatever, and he would buy them before and then dump on the open. Apparently he ran like $1,000 or 10 grand into a billion net worth. I'm not sure he's still the greatest trader. Some people are trying to say, trying to throw shade on this. Bro, that's the whole game of trading, is to get an edge. And they're like, but that's look, whether it's illegal or not, fan, doesn't matter. This is who you're trading against. That's what I'm telling you, bro. This is literally, you're walking around trying to dribble a ball, and that guy's Lionel Messi. Literally Lionel Messi. You know what I mean? Like, they're just born and bred for this game. So when you take a long-term view of holding, though, you're not playing against that. All right? You're playing against yourself pretty much, because a lot of people just drop off and they're just shouting out words. Okay? They're dropping off, they're shouting out words. All right? So that's why you got to put the odds in your favor. Long-term investing helps that. Here we have more junk from Tiffany Fongles. It appears Trump and Elon are still not friends. I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. He wants to start a third political party. The system seems not designed for them. So, yeah, man. I mean, like, just, now dad and daddy are fighting, whatever. Oh, man. Remember, friends, Trump. Remember there was the Israel, Iran, and Russia, Ukraine, and like the next thing and the next thing. Oh, now Trump and Elon are fighting. Distraction. What happened to the Epstein files? Let's go move on. And there's going to be another thing, like, just, gosh. And friends, man, it's been tough. I just scrolled for like 2 minutes. There's just so much junk, man. Oh, my gosh. First good post comes out by Mr. Fast Abdul. PulseChain peeps, please do this. Help pump our bags. Want to get more eyeballs on PulseX Conference? Go register with Crypto Nomad's event site and say you're joining. Yes, everyone go and do that. support the conferences out here. Put aside our little cult fighting stuff, friends, because it's useless. But there's like 3 people fighting, but yeah, man, there's just so much junk over. I have to filter all this stuff. Elon, someone's fighting. Oh no, going down. What did Tiffany Fong say? Oh man, look at this, friends. So once again, Elon Musk. What's the point of Doge if the government's just going to add 5 trillion more in debt? Vinny, honestly, not giving a truck about these pumps until a clear reversal. Peter, until new all-time highs. I respect this. Yeah, that's how we all feel. That's why I've mentioned as well, man. $3,800 ETH, please give it to us. Interesting. Believe app. 2 crypto natives will be running this account moving forward. Chads. Impurita and Barney. I think they're 2 controversial people. Not controversial in a bad way. I think they call out a lot of the Soylana pump fund stuff out here. My friend Scottie Boo Melker.
Now, we've had a lot of notable people and entities launching Bitcoin treasury companies, a lot of MicroStrategy wannabes who are trying to capitalize on a very clear trend that gives them a huge premium to the net asset value of the Bitcoin that they hold. But it's not just Bitcoin treasury companies right now. It's Bitcoin treasury companies, Ethereum treasury companies, Solana treasury companies, XRP treasury companies, and we're going to get treasury companies for basically every asset all the way down the line. Do I agree with this article? Bitcoin treasury madness signals the end of the current rally? No. That said, I think it will be a massive bubble. I just think we're earlier in the bubble. And when that bubble pops, people are going to get absolutely wrecked. It's going to be just like the ICO madness of previous cycles. We are going to see mass insanity. And I really question who is going to buy all of these stocks.
Also, shout out to Davey James as well, friends from PulseChain community. So yeah, Scott said it best. They will get wrecked. We know it will happen. When though? When is always a question. When? We don't know when. But I imagine in the next bear market, a lot of them have liquidated. They've had to sell Bitcoin way lower, way down. And the FUD narrative people will say is you can't buy Bitcoin now because the government has made it illegal to put crypto on your balance sheet. You have to go register for something. You can't just go use shares to do it. I have a feeling if the madness gets that much higher, it's building up towards it. That's probably how it ends, where they're going to have to put some rules. They're like, look, man, we allow you guys to put crypto on the balance sheet. You guys borrowed too much on it. We're going to have to put some rules. And then that might be the FUD. Everyone's saying, oh, no one will ever buy this stuff ever again. You know, and that'll be a really good reason for people not to buy. Because they go, oh, crap, it only went up because of the treasury companies, and now they're not allowed to buy. So who's going to buy them next? I can imagine the 4-panel macro talking point mid-curver podcast and stuff out here for crypto. I can imagine them saying that. But we got to get to the pump part first. And we're going to say, what pump part? Like, we are pumping right now, aren't we? Yeah, it is. I know we are. We are. Someone's going to have to come and buy the top. It might just be Michael Saylor again. I mean, he literally says, I'll be buying the top forever. Where's he going to get that money from? We'll see. He's gonna unlock an enormous top signal. High price. His average price is 71,000. Maybe he gets to 100. We'll see. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.